There was a time when Superman was portrayed as a symbol of hope,
Beacon to the world.
and he used to stand against injustice and have uncompromising values. He cares about life, even if it's somebody evil. Similarly to Batman, which is something that makes their contrast so interesting, because they have different methods and ideologies, but the principle for which they fight is the exact same.
Always have to be the hero, don't you? Right back at you.
And nowhere is that illustrated better than in Injustice League Unlimited. It does technically start in Superman the Animated Series, but it gets expanded upon Injustice League.
You should have seen your face.
I don't know what to do. I'm so scared.
At first, they don't see eye to eye with each other because their methods are so different. But over time, they grow a unique bond with each other. This is heavily reinforced by their undying need to save people, to be a hero. And Superman's influence helps Batman become a better person. At first, he's just a grumpy dude who actively avoids working with the team. There's a hilarious moment where they're going to unmask themselves and Batman just calls them all stupid and hangs up on them.
You want me to what?
Turn yourself over into U.S. custody, along with the rest of us.
This is the single dumbest plan I've ever heard. If you're feeling guilty, clear your own name. Don't stand on the sidelines waiting for somebody else to do it.
But over time, Batman accepts working with them. He even stands on stage with them. He even starts recruiting people like Green Arrow because he believes the Justice League needs to stay honest. But never is Superman's influence more impactful than when Superman dies. There is a story arc in this show when Superman supposedly dies and all the Justice League have to move on without him. They have to learn what it means to save the world without him. But Batman refuses to believe that he's dead. He even goes to great lengths to try and convince himself that Superman's alive. But when all seems lost, and nothing can be done to bring Superman back, it resolves in a surprisingly poignant moment where Batman visits Superman's grave.
Despite our differences, I have nothing but respect for you. I hope you know that. You showed me that justice doesn't always have to come from the darkness. I'll miss.
This series is surprisingly good at bringing everybody to tears. Superman himself is just as good at that. In another story arc where Batman and Wonder Woman go to the Fortress of Solitude for Clark's birthday, only to discover him in a parasitic slumber. In this slumber, Superman goes back to Krypton. He has a family, he even has children. The episode ends with Superman realizing that the life he is leading is a sham, and him holding his son as it fades away.
No, I don't want to scare you, Van. You are everything I ever wanted in a son. This is everything I ever wanted in a life. But I've got responsibilities, Van.
Superman's also a beast in this show. In the story arc where he quote-unquote dies, he actually gets transported to the future, a future where his power does not work, and he has to find a way back on sheer force of will and power, determination. It's probably one of my favorite Superman episodes. But like everybody, Superman isn't immune to hubris. There's a season-long arc where Lex Luthor is trying to convince everybody he's a changed man and is now a good guy. And as you can imagine, Superman doesn't believe a word of it. This comes to a head when Shazam publicly supports Lex and Superman tells him to stand down. Later in the episode, they get into a fight because Superman is convinced that Lex is doing something incredibly dodgy and tries to prove it. By the end, Superman gets proven wrong, and the episode ends with Shazam walking out questioning why he ever believed in Superman. Then there's the time when Darkseid of all people comes to the Justice League asking for help. As you can imagine, Superman isn't too thrilled about helping Darkseid and actively protests against it, which leads to the most hilarious roast Batman ever dishes out.
You don't know Darkseid like I do.
We know he used you, humiliated you, brainwashed you, wound you up like a tin soldier, and turned you loose against Earth. Cry me a river.
seen your face.
I don't know what to do. I'm so scared.
By the end of the story arc, Superman is proven right and Darkseid betrays them all. And Superman even goes to kill Darkseid. But because Batman knows Superman would never live with this idea, he runs in to stop Superman from making the biggest mistake of his life.
Don't be a fool.
This, above all, proves that even Superman needs to be reined in a little sometimes. Because even Superman is human.
What abilities you might have. More human than I am. He lived in this world. Fell in love, got a job. Despite all that power.
Yeah, I know. Surprise. The alien from Krypton is human. He was raised on Earth. He may as well have been born on Earth, because all of his values stem from his experiences on Earth. And that is why I find Superman in basically every other media painful. Because Superman in movies, games, is not Superman.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And this arguably goes back to the Richard Donner films. Everybody and their mother likes the Richard Donner films. They're super uplifting, lighthearted, and really fun to watch.
Hi there. Something wrong with the elevator?
The problem is, these movies make Superman into a boring goody two-shoes Boy Scout.
Lois? I never lie.
He's way more of a symbol than he is anything else. Just like someone else I know.